We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
Hello and welcome to Icon's Earthbound here on the Nerd Eternal Network. I'll be your GM for the day, Jason, and with me as usual will be Curtis playing Landshark,
Hola.
Taylor playing Unison,
Howdy, howdy.
Mike playing Independence Ray,
Hey.
and Zach playing Recluse.
Hey.
And who wants to give us a review of what happened last week? Curtis, go. Or last session. Not last week, last session.
I did listen to it, but I was not there.
Well, you should be all caught up, though.
Yeah, y'all did some stuff, kicked the bad guys' butts, and had tea time with the Crawling Gods. And we are bad babysitters.
That's all pretty factual for what went down.
Hold
Listen,
up. How are we bad babysitters?
We took her on a field trip, and I'm pretty sure you would need like at least armor-piercing ammunition to like mildly annoy that child. She's probably tougher than some of our PCs.
Also, we kept an eye on her more than many people keep eyes on their actual children. She never left our vision.
Exactly.
Here, it's a horrific cosmic monster.
That she wanted to see.
I'm just jealous that I didn't get to see the Crawling Gods also.
Well, it was just an emissary. They're all hiding right now.
It may be that Recluse is a bad avatar for the Crawling Gods.
Possibly.
You brought what down on us? All right.
Recluse is also doing a poor job as a teammate to Unison by declaring Unison's psychopathic desire to commit to surgery on an animal in front of his father.
That's right. Unison had some family drama.
Yep.
I have a question about Unison.
I'm sure I have an answer.
Well, I realize. We all know that this is your family. I'm not clear on if the team knows this is your family. Do we know your name? Have we seen your face? Or is Unison still just Uni?
You do not know my name or face. That was a thing of, like, during the entirety of the trip there and back, is the helmet never came off.
Yeah, I knew it was. I knew it was. I just didn't know if that had changed since we knew who your family was. It wouldn't, because it wouldn't be hard to Google and say, oh, well, this is probably him.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever seen Omniglot without her mask on.
Yeah, but that's just dumb.
We know they're his family, but we don't know their...
You don't know who they are name-wise.
You don't know any of our names.
But you know Omniglot's his sister.
That
Multidimensional Man's his
makes
dad.
much more sense
Okay.
to me. I get that.
It's like you know Robin is Batman's kid, but you don't know...
You don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Alright, but y'all had gotten back to the base. Early the next day, MDM, Geist, and Foresight. Was it Foresight or Foreshadow? Why do I always forget this guy's name?
Foresight.
Okay. That's right, because Foreshadow is an M&M's character. I didn't want to copy him. All right. They have to head out. As was mentioned before y'all left for Russia, there was a mission out to aid another cell of resistance essentially ran by Frost Giant. And they had run into some complications. So these guys are taking off to help them. It's not an emergency at this point. Their vehicle just got trashed, so they've got to go do a pickup. But that leaves y'all, to your own devices in the base.
We are unsupervised.
So what do y'all do first thing in the morning?
Are there any after action reports that we can that are available to go over? Like for the kind of operations that have been going on since the takeover happened.
MDM would have some stuff like that. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think Recluse is probably going to go over them. Start reading them with as a morning coffee.
Okay. MDM is big on paper files, so it's written out, typed up stuff. Mm-hmm. So one thing you find out they've been doing a lot initially was anywhere that they knew there were like stashes of artifacts or magical writings. The Resistance has been gathering all of that up they can. Basically, they noticed that the Pharaoh, or Madame Pharaoh, as you like to call her, was sending people out to collect that sort of thing. So they've been gathering it up. Most of the folks in the Resistance can't really make heads or tails of it, but at the very least, they're keeping it out of her hands.
The important part.
Mm-hmm. And then it's if they manage to find somebody magical, then it's a resource.
Yeah.
But like I said before, Wolf Witch is missing in action. Nobody has seen the Crucible. Who else was it? Who else did we have that was magical that we run into a lot?
Any word on Slapshot? As a player, I'm deeply concerned about the guy who's carrying around Death's Sight. So, and he was a member of the Haunted.
Well, to be fair, it's not the current Death's Scythe.
It's just a Death's Scythe.
It's just one of the old ones.
I'm sure that puts all your fears at ease.
Yeah. Oh, 1 second, I'm sorry.
But, alright, so Recluse is reading through reports of previous missions that the Resistance have gone on. Ray, Mike, what does Ray do in the morning?
I guess he'd be, he'd check in on the satellite crew. And he would, and after that, he would, I guess he would, probably, join Recluse in the, mission reviews.
Okay. You get a hold of the crew on y'all's ship, and the ship that acts as the Spear Team's base.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's been fine. Nothing unusual to report. As far as activity from Earth, they do tell you your little friend has been poking around the ship.
Aurora's up there?
He's like, oh no. He's like, no, sir. Sorry, I forgot we had multiple little friends. No, the energy entity.
What? Oh. Oh.
It hasn't been bothering anybody. It hasn't been disrupting our systems. It mostly just sort of floats around the outside, and every now and then it dips through the ship.
Was I aware that they had followed us here, back to Earth?
It was
Uh,
just one, wasn't it?
it was mostly just the larger one. You know, you had the
Oh,
smaller
so
ones
this
that would
oh,
come and go. You know, the one that dropped down from orbit to help y'all fighting that witch.
oh, sure, but I just didn't. Had I realized that any of them had followed us like back here, like all the way to Earth?
You knew they were following you still when you left uh, Gakrad. I'm not
Hmm.
sure if you knew they'd followed you all the way to Earth.
Okay, so this is
You know,
news.
they were around when you had your duel, basically, uh, with Lord
Minority.
Anordu. But either they caught up with you very quickly after you went through the gateway, or they slipped through the gateway before it closed. One or the other.
Oh, okay.
Uh, the guy you're talking to is like, oh, I can check the sensor reports, you know, because we Omniglot had set up basically like an algorithm, so the sensors kept a constant tab on them and recording their movements. You hear some typing. Well, it turns out they had followed you through the gateway where Aurora had like missed and landed y'all in the wrong solar system.
Mhm.
And apparently they got here from there the long way.
No. Okay.
Now
Well, I mean, who?
their best guess was that misstep of hers landed y'all in like Alpha Centauri. So relatively speaking, you were close by.
Mhm. So they're capable on their own of post-light speed travel.
Oh yeah, well they were keeping up with your ship without any trouble. So,
That's true.
so yeah, apparently it took them a couple of days to figure out where you were.
I'll ask them to give me a heads up if this Fjord heads for the surface.
Will do.
And then after that, then I'd join Reckless in the mission reviews.
Okay, you're going over those.
Yeah.
Like I was telling him, you know, a lot of securing magical artifacts, devices, writings to keep them out of the hands of anybody nasty. They've spent time looking around for known magic users and just have not been having much luck. They did find the architect.
Oh.
But the architect seems to be affected by whatever went on. And when they sort of serendipitously tried to quiz her on magic stuff, she was quick to inform them that she is an alchemist, not a magician. She also does not seem to be directly working for Madame Feyre. Like, loyal to, but just kind of living a normal life. And MDM's, you know, his notes are more than likely that the Pharaoh has not realized what the architect can do. And for any of you that don't remember, the architect was basically like a living alchemist stone. She did transmutation. She'd been magically altered to do transmutation and stuff, if I remember correctly.
Was she a season one character, or have I just forgotten her?
She was season 2, but it was one of Anna's, and Anna didn't play with us very long. Season 2.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So she popped up. She was in the Haunted. She popped up with them like the first adventure, maybe the first 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Taylor, what does Unison do first thing in the morning?
I will check where. I go ahead and check where Dr. Brain is.
MDM does not have any notes about her location.
I love that. That's great. That's exactly what needs to be happening right now. It's a lack of notes. All right. Is there any information on the group, or any information on what happened with the group that went and assaulted the Pharaoh directly?
Oh yeah, that happened early on.
Yeah, are there any recordings of it, or just information on what happened? Did anyone get out?
They have a little footage of the team going in. There was a little damage to the building that you can see in the footage. Definitely a big brawl went down. But none of the heroes were ever seen coming out. It is assumed they are either dead or prisoners.
Oh God, excuse me.
Bless you.
Oh.
But nothing to be gleaned of exactly what the Pharaoh is capable of.
No.
Fun.
Yeah. The assumptions are that she's some sort of magician. Whether she's got exactly what sorts of magic she uses, whether she's got other abilities to back that up, they have no idea. You know, you can find some footage of her like floating around, so she can clearly levitate at least. But she doesn't walk around making big demonstrations of what she can do. Oh, other than you do know she can heal. There will be the occasional, she goes out for a photo op and she heals someone who's injured. But, you can do that. That's not super impressive to you.
Is there any footage that indicates who her heavy hitters are as like a security detail?
It seems to fluctuate. She does have a very large man that's always walking around with her. He's always shirtless. His costume is very Egyptian slave motifed kind of thing.
That's not Obelisk, right? This is a different giant person.
This is not a growing guy. This is just a large dude.
Oh, okay. The big dude. Okay.
And like I said, shirtless. She keeps him greased up.
Is he blonde?
Let me check. Yes, he is.
Can I roll an awareness check to see if it's...
Oh my God.
Because of which character you are playing currently, yes, you may.
Oh, I so wanted. I'm hoping that this means that we're going to get a fight eventually, but I've wanted for a while.
Does my point of investigation add into this?
Yes, because you keep a running a running tally of people in your lifestyle.
That's an 11.
You know exactly who this is. Go ahead and tell everybody who it is.
It's Muscle the Muscle.
It's Muscle.
Oh!
It's Muscle the Muscle. You don't know what you don't know what his name might have been altered to. That nobody ever talks to him. He's just always right there at her shoulder, like personal bodyguard kind of.
Well, I mean, his name's Kelvin. That's not a secret. He's been in prison enough. I know his name.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's not awesome. He is a bipedal breathing organism fighting machine.
Yeah, we've never seen him lose a fight yet.
Can we hire a robot to fight him, maybe?
Yeah, but think about it, Zach. We get Himbo versus Himbo, maybe.
No, we avoid
Does he enter him
Muscle at
both?
all costs. We avoid Muscle at all costs. We find a way to remove him from the fight before we ever have to throw hands.
Yeah, unit will turn and look at Omniglot. Hey, yeah, this guy's Muscle the Muscle. You are going to be the one that can take him down the fastest.
You hear her, oh, I want to fight the pretty man.
You know, I bet you do. Unfortunately, he is very threatening. I won't stop you from fighting him, but it would be up in the air. I know roughly your level of strength, and I know roughly his.
Omniglot otherwise just kind of nods. Yeah. I would definitely be the good counter for him. She didn't necessarily recognize him looking at him, just standing there like that. But as soon as you said the name Muscle the Muscle, she knows who he is too. She's not as paranoid as you, but she does do a lot of research.
Are we thinking that Omniglot's the best counter because of her ability to, her kind of quasi-psychic ability to bamboozle people? Is that what we're thinking?
I assume that's where he was going with it.
Yeah, Muscle the Muscle is known to have a weakness to mentalists.
Ah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like Unison and Omniglot would probably have a fairly easy time taking him down if they double teamed him. Both because of the mental powers and such.
Yeah, Unison and his gluttony of mental powers.
He's got a mind blast and can hit people with it 6 times in a round. So.
Yeah, my rank 2 mental blast.
Those that plus
it does add up.
Stacks up.
All right, Curtis, what does Landshark do when he gets up in the morning?
Everyone's doing all these strategic plans, and Bruce is going to do Bruce. He's going to make breakfast for everybody because he's a foodie and we have been off planet and he has not had Earth food. And he's also going to secretly have a map of the U.S. that he's studying and making marks on, drawing on it.
What's he marking down?
Well, he seems to be making a path to Memphis, Tennessee, and he seems to have mistaken state borders for a fancy tram line.
I love it. So I need to get to the. So basically he's sitting there. I need to get to the U.S. and as soon as I get wherever I get to on the East Coast, here's the closest tram line that'll take me to Memphis.
It's just very confusing. There is an Egypt, Arkansas, so he's like, that must be what they're talking about. I don't really get the connection, but.
So you're talking Memphis, Tennessee, right? Or are you talking about Memphis?
Memphis, Tennessee, yes.
Okay.
That is the Memphis that Landshark is familiar with.
Now, I would like to state, we have had discussions in front of Landshark stating it's not Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, but you also said it's Egypt, and there's an Egypt, Arkansas. He can't, he's never heard that there's a Memphis in Egypt. It's just not connecting.
All right, so y'all are all pouring through books. You're eating food as Bruce brings it to you. He's clearly working on something over there too, but just let sleeping sharks lie. So while y'all are all doing y'all's various studying, Aurora kind of glances around, and while her abilities let her speak English, they don't necessarily let her read English. So she's been flipping through, just seeing if there were any pictures in any of them. And finally gives up and goes to the living room, starts watching something for the DVD collection. Landshark, you're doing your mapping basically on the kitchen counter. When you finish cooking, you just kind of spread the map out on the kitchen counter and you're doing your thing. There is an incoming communication. And there's one of the little consoles built into the counter. So you're the nearest person sitting to any of the equipment when the comm lights up.
Cool. I will answer. But I'll answer like Jay. I go, bueno.
Hello? MDM?
Oh, he stepped out. We needed milk. How can I help you?
Who is this?
Hi. My name is Bruce. I'm a shark.
Oh, Landshark. I'm trying to think of. He tells you. I'm trying to think of a way you can prove who you are. What information would Landshark know that no one else would? Is there anybody else there with you?
Gave up.
Sure. Hey, Ray, we got a call.
You know who? Who is it?
They didn't say. That's actually kind of rude.
All right. Well, if they, I'll go ahead and take it. Who's this?
He identifies himself as Mark Bradley.
Okay.
He has been working with MDM and Foresight. Technically he has enhanced mind abilities. They're very low level, but it was enough that he was not affected by by whatever the Pharaoh did. So he's been acting as an agent. Now he asks a couple of quick questions. I'm trying to remember, was Ray engaged or just dating?
They were.
Sorry, I shouldn't speak for.
That's fine.
What was that, Mike? I didn't quite make out the last of it.
Engaged.
Okay.
Yeah, they're engaged. He's
So
engaged to Mark.
Yeah. He asked you your fiance's name.
What business is that? Is yours?
Just trying to verify who you are, sir.
I-
Just trying to verify who you are.
Oh, of course. Yes, Independence Ray.
Because
yes,
Ray would know.
Sure. Well, I mean, that's. Oh, that's right. He would. This is another person who has been transported, so they will know about old-timey Earth. Yeah. So my fiance is Marcus Soto. He works he was working as the school nurse at such and such academy.
Okay, good. Yeah. He thinks that does verify for sure who, in his mind, who that you're who you're claiming to be.
Of course.
But they have received a message. Supposedly from Santa Luna.
Oh.
But by the way, I have tried to listen in on this conversation.
Yeah, I'll try to.
Yeah, you can put it on speakerphone.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, I'll let him know I'm putting on a speaker.
So Curtis Bruce hears, oh yeah, a message from somebody claiming to be Santa Luna. Now, where did Bruce and Santa Luna meet each other?
You know, the characters are actually originally from a different place that had a different city where they lived. I'm going to say New Orleans. That makes more sense because that's where Jay would have been studying magic.
And as part of the Haunted, I think he was. Or no, he was part of the. He wasn't part of the Haunted. He was part of the Misfits, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Who were based out of what's it, Lafayette?
Probably would have been a better fit for the Haunted, but yeah, he was in the Misfits.
Shreveport.
Shreveport, that's right. But anyway, yeah, it claims to be Santa Luna, claims to want to meet up with your people. Well, mostly with Landshark, but anybody working with Landshark. And he gave this location. He rattles off whatever location it was in New Orleans, where y'all had bumped into each other. Where y'all met each other. He didn't really offer anything else in the way of proof of who he was. Other than the agent he gave the message to, wasn't immediately arrested or anything. Though obviously that agent has passed the message on and gone into deeper hiding. Just in case. That's really all he's got for you. He was just supposed to pass the message on.
Did they give a time?
Oh, yeah, yes. 3:00 in the afternoon on Tuesdays. Like, he didn't give you a specific day, but he'll be at that spot 3:00 on Tuesdays. He did say, not to keep him waiting too long, so I don't know how many weeks he plans to do that. But
what day is it today?
oh, that's a good question.
Well, we know it's Sunday, but
Yeah. No need to break the fourth wall. Let's say that it is Monday. Because y'all are in the Alps, it would take you a little while to get to the U.S.
Well, obviously, Bruce is very excited about this.
But anyway, that is all Mark's got for you. Before he hangs up, though, he leaves you a string of numbers. If you talk to MDM, give him my name, and this number is basically a code phrase, so he knows it's for sure me. And then he can back up that you were talking to that I'm who I claim to be. And he basically gives you like an email address that you can get in contact with him if you need to. He runs a lot of the more mundane agents the Resistance has in the U.S. The folks they've got that are resistant to whatever was done, but don't really have the firepower to go out, button heads with all the superpowered people the Pharaoh's got working for him.
The guys who can move a penny across the table if they concentrate really hard.
Right. Or maybe he's just a little more mentally resistant than other people would be, or has a danger sense, minor stuff. So how does everyone react to the news?
Bruce starts getting ready to go.
Are we?
Hold up, big guy. Hold up, big guy. We need to talk about this first.
um talk. Okay, I'm going.
But
Bruce, you and I both know that Santo Luna is not currently in control of his body.
And if it's a trap, what do we do with traps? We spring them.
he's got a point. Well, we don't need to be. Should we at least wait until MDM gets back from recovering the Frost Giants team? I mean, just
How
a little
long
bit
is
of
that
time's
going
not.
to be?
Yeah,
He
It's
gets
gotta
back
be.
in like, an hour or two.
if I'm not mistaken, it was just a pickup. It wasn't like an emergency fight. So yeah, it's just going to be a little while.
Yeah, he should be back sometime today. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, without them and without us at the base, it does leave the base with people.
Also, wait, do we even have a ship to fly right now?
Ooh,
You know, not in this base. You know where there's another one hidden on one of the neighboring mountaintops.
Okay.
It's like the emergency. If the base was attacked and they had to bug out, that's a location they would be anybody that got out would be heading to try to take that ship somewhere safe. It also works as a good spare, for y'all if multiple missions have to be run out of this place.
And in all fairness, I can't drive, much less fly, so.
From the other room, you hear Aurora. I can fly.
Yep.
Sweet!
Fly a ship, dear. Fly a ship.
Oh.
Sorry. Bruce,
Yeah,
I know this is tearing you up inside, but there's we gotta play this safer than
I assure you, if there were more backup plans than us, I would in fact love to just go guns blazing. I don't like having to think about things as much as we're having to think about things.
Well, we need a magician, and when have I ever done things safe?
That sentence
Well,
makes me very happy that you're a gay man.
that may, yeah, I get what you're saying, but remember, Bruce, it's not you're not just operating solo anymore. You're part of a team, and that means that you can't just. Well, I don't. What's a good way of putting it? We gotta approach this and plan this out. I know you miss Jay just as much as I miss Marcus. It hasn't been easy for me either. I know what it's like when just after everything we've been through and traveling like literally across stars to get back to our loved ones, and then be so close, and yet the journey is and then you still don't know when the journey's going to end, but
Well, let's make a
we're going to
plan.
get there. We're going to get there. So I guess are there any other superpowered agents here? Is it really just us and support crew?
In the base you're currently in, it's just you guys right now.
Yeah.
Because I don't think y'all brought any of the normal people down.
No, we left them on the satellite.
Yeah.
I don't think we did either. We left them all on the ship.
I know they split up between your ship and the spear ship, just to make sure neither one of them, fall out of the sky.
That's right. There are aces up our sleeve just in case we
Yep.
get really messed up here on the surface. or maybe more like our advanced eyes in the sky.
But all right, but it sounds like y'all convinced Landshark to stay. Does he still suit up and get ready to go though?
Oh yeah.
All right, so y'all hang around. Probably continue to go through files. Some of you, Aurora, Curtis. Landshark is distracted enough that Aurora's trying to get him to watch a show with her.
Landshark's just gonna be a pest saying, "Why are we waiting? Why are we not making a plan?"
Well, okay, let's. Now, did the message say anything about where we would meet
It
up
gave
with Jay?
it gave us a precise location in New Orleans.
Oh, what's the precise location?
Curtis, where did regale us with?
I will give you a choice, Jason.
Okay.
Because the original narrative was Landshark went to jail for being a mess and causing a lot of damage. He was arrested by Toss-Up, but Toss-Up kind of felt like he dropped the ball because they'd met when they were kids, and Bruce never got the help that he really needed. So Toss-Up sort of arranged to get him out of jail. It's like, okay, you're out of jail, but you have to be under the supervision of super teams and get training and whatever. But he also hooked him up in a high-rise apartment where he wouldn't cause earthquakes while he was in the apartment. And Jay just happened to be his neighbor. But we could either do that, or maybe they met outside some magic shop on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, whatever location you think would be more interesting.
Let's say that Toss-Up put that it was in Louisiana that you got arrested. So when you first got out, he put you up in an apartment in Louisiana. Santo Luna was renting one of the other buildings. Now this wouldn't have been a high-rise apartment. You'd have been on like the second story, of like a brownstone type setup. So an older building. But still kind of close to that, that sort of neighborhood that Santa Luna would have been doing research in. And you remember there was a little park area like across the road from the brownstone itself. So we will say it is that little park area that he was saying he would be at. Sound good? All right. So you're able to give the crew that information, and y'all can pull up. Google satellites are still working, even if not many people are using them. So you can pull up Google Earth and look at the area and figure out where it's at.
Bruce, has the area changed appreciably since you were living there in this new world?
Has it?
Not that you can notice from looking at this. It's one of those relatively historic sections in New Orleans that they don't let change much.
It's such a cool city.
And as far as like what the spell has altered, well, that wouldn't have been updated on the Google Maps you're looking at, or Google Earth you're looking at anyway.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Oh, right, because Google Earth probably is probably not getting updated anymore, right?
Nope.
Since all the satellites seem to be not knocked out. But,
No, they're all functioning. It's just nobody. Very, very little traffic. Very few people are using it.
Okay. Well, Bruce, do you know this area the best? Is there anything we should know about how to approach this location? Were there any police stations nearby? For starters.
I'm sure there was one not too far away.
I just whether or not it's a trap or not, I don't think they would be surprised for me to show up by myself. So if you guys want to hang back as backup,
I
let them think they've got me. I don't know why they would bother with me.
Well,
It's
you're
trap.
you're a super who remembers the old world. I figured that alone makes each of us a threat. Just for that.
It also may be a thing of the memories are there, but if they're under control, then they know you suddenly showed up with the group that was out in space. It may be just an act to grab us all to keep us from tipping the scale.
Yeah.
Because we did kind of show up and wipe the floor with the people that they had to respond with.
If it is a trap, I don't think they'd be surprised to just catch me.
Is that Bruce's way of saying they might think he was dumb enough to walk into this trap when nobody, even if the rest of the team didn't?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say use the word okay, but willing to like hang back in the shadows in case things, not in case, but when things go south. Whenever we make our move on this probable booby trap.
I could observe from the sky. Now, is there anything like high powered telescopic equipment here? Something where I could like hover from a far distance and still be able to see what's going on the surface.
You mean like, what do you mean by telescopic equipment?
Oh, I guess something along the lines of military grade binoculars, I guess.
Oh yeah, something like that. You can get your hands on, no problem. MDM's probably got something like that around here.
That way I could be high enough where I wouldn't be immediately noticeable,
Mm-hmm.
but still be able to keep tabs on what's going on the surface.
All right, sounds like you've got a good start to a plan at least. So y'all are sitting around
And
throughout the day discussing this. What was that, Matt?
Right now the plan is for Bruce to go in alone while we watch from a distance, see if he triggers a trap, and then swoop in to save the day.
All right, so y'all have hashed this plan out. About that time, you hear the hangar start to open. I need something. Hang on just one moment. Oh, that's not the right character sheet. Everybody give me willpower rolls, please.
Sure. It's not ominous or anything.
No, not at all.
No.
Any resistances to add in?
If you've got any kind of mental resistance, sure.
All right.
Oh, that's why it's set to 8. I know it's not that high. Right.
Because you have a mental resistance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, 9 is the number to beat.
I did not win. I got a
Man. Poor Landshark.
So y'all just feel a little tingle Unison, you recognize this feeling.
Oh no.
Now, Landshark does not notice anything. The ones that resisted, could feel a little something.
I sense bullshit afoot.
Omniglot jumps up with a big smile on her face and runs towards the hangar.
Recluse is immediately going to try and stop her. Just dashes after her to grab her.
I'll
No,
put
no,
a hand.
hold on.
I'll put a hand up on Recluse. No, it's all right.
You sure, buddy?
Yeah.
Oh, is this your mom?
Okay, you've got to stop saying those things.
I expressly say that I whisper that to her.
Okay. It's one of the more powerful people that we would have on roster, yes.
The way you've described her concerns deeply.
To be fair, everyone else loves her.
Is it a choice in the matter thing for him? Or...
If I knew that, I'd be a much different person.
Awesome. I love this. This is great.
Well, I mean, you felt the tingle. That wasn't exactly that wasn't exactly a request for a conversation, now was it?
Nope.
Aren't you probing our minds? Making
Was that
sure
you
we're
saying
not...
it? Was that Ray saying it, or you saying it?
No, Ray asked that.
Yeah.
Trying to make sure we're not. It seems like given the circumstances, that doesn't seem like an unreasonable.
You'll grow to get used to this
violating as it
feeling.
is. What's that?
You'll grow to get used to this feeling.
I see. This is a habit of hers. A continuing habit. Well,
So you hear conversation coming down the hallway towards y'all's room. Omniglot's talking very fast for a normal person, not as fast as you've heard her talk though. And
You get a couple copies out.
And you're hearing another woman. Yes. Oh dear, that must have been very frightening. Oh, that was very clever. Oh yes, the mask is rather uncomfortable. You hear Omniglot. Well, you were wearing it upside down. Here, let me. Oh.
Yeah.
And when Omniglot walks in, she walks in with an older woman. I mean, not older like she's ancient, not MDM's age. Like old enough she looks like she could be Unison and Omniglot's mother. She's wearing kind of an oversized domino mask. Other than that, she's not really in a costume. She's dressed in a coat, long coat, like she was dressing to come somewhere cold. She kind of gives off a teacher vibe.
Y'all miss breakfast.
Oh, we had some on the flight, dear. Thank you.
Could I get you a cup of coffee? Hi, I'm Recluse. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh yes, you've been working with my boy for a while now. She reaches out, and shakes your hand.
My name's Bruce.
You're a shark.
your reputation precedes you.
What was that now?
I was just saying that Bruce's reputation precedes him.
Also, he's the one that filled the role.
Yep.
She probably knows all kinds of things about
You
Bruce.
got the lowdown.
It's like, no, don't tell him that.
She comes in and greets all of you. She dotes over Aurora a little bit. Her face goes from, oh, this is a sweet little child, to as she turns away from Aurora and makes eye contact with Ray, her face goes very hard.
Oh.
Her voice doesn't change though. Ray, could we have a little? Could we speak for just a minute over here?
Of course, Doctor. This is Dr. Brain, right? That is her hero name. Or did I mistake that from earlier?
I don't know. Did she ever do any real heroing?
I just heard someone mention a Dr.
There was
Brain.
an amount back in the day.
Okay, so it's probably just a little bit like maybe when her and MDM first got married, or a little bit before that. Okay,
Yeah.
but yes, Dr. Brain is definitely an alias she uses, and it's probably what she would have introduced herself to, like when she shook Recluse's hand.
Okay, then yeah, I'll say, of course, Doctor.
And she's doing that, MDM, everybody else that went on the trip is back. So John met Modi's son, Molly, Geist, all of them.
Oh, they were all on the mission.
Well, John and Molly had gone off first. And then there had been to back up Frost Giant and his guy. And then there had been the complication of them losing their vehicle, and then Geist and Foresight and MDM had to run out in the other jet to pick them up and drop them off somewhere.
Oh, okay. So Frost Giant's not here.
Right. His cell is still where they were. They do report that the mission was successful. They've got Frost Giant's other ward back with them. And while her memories have still not returned, she was able to look into their minds. So she's aware that things are wrong, even though she can't remember the original version.
When you said ward, was that Patience or Serpent Boy?
Patience. Serpent Boy was already part of the cell. He got mentioned, a couple sessions ago.
So what did Dr. Brain have to say? I'm assuming she's gonna upgrade me for deploying Aurora as much as I have.
That is exactly what she wants to talk to you about. You are not carrying this child into fights anymore. I know she's tough. I don't care. She's a 10-year-old.
Yeah, about that. I made a miscalculation, assuming that even though she looks young, as a member of superpowered species, that she may have been older than, or like longer lived than her parents. Lately, only recently have I found out that was in fact not the case. So, understood.
Give me a willpower roll to see how smoothly you address this. We're using willpower in its social aspect here, not like a mental resistance.
I thought she was going to scramble my brains or something. No, leadership would count, because I don't think Dr. Brain.
No, she has not acknowledged you as her leader at all.
Yep.
Okay, she still does not look super happy, but okay. You're dealing with weird stuff. You thought maybe she was 10,000 years old or something. Okay.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
She's kind of like, it's kind of funny how Bruce wasn't confused about that, but okay.
Well,
At least I imagine that Bruce, it never occurred to Bruce that she was anything except the 10-year-old she looked like.
In all fairness, Bruce is exceptionally protective of children. He's like, yeah, no.
well, she could have been 10,000 years old, and you still would have treated her the same.
Exactly.
So, do we relate to them the contents of the phone call?
Oh, that's right. We haven't done. We haven't done. If we haven't done that already, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely get into that.
So you drop Mark's name and the string of identifying number, the serial number basically that he left you. MDM confirmed. Okay, yeah, that's one of our agents. He's pretty trustworthy. He wouldn't do well in a superpowered fight, but he's extremely. His mental defenses are extremely high. So the chances that he's been mind controlled, could have been mind controlled to To deliver a message that was a trap is unlikely, but
Because he'll just been fooled, but at least we don't. That's one thing we don't have to worry about. At least
oh yeah.
on the trap.
Now, as far as whether or not Santa Luna had gotten loose from his handlers in Memphis, I can send out some of our feelers. We've got a few people in Memphis. They really keep their heads down. But I can see if any of them, because we have been keeping tabs on Santa Luna. I can see if any of them have seen him lately. And if there's no objection, he goes off and he sends out messages to some of his other agents. Let's see, who does Dr. Brain? Well, after talking to Independence Ray, Unison, you're the next person your mother comes to talk to.
Doctor. I put out a hand to shake.
That's Dr. Mom to you.
Can we go somewhere? Can we step into a room where you can take that silly helmet off?
I suppose we can, yes.
Alright, so y'all step into a side room.
I will... The helmet doesn't do anything for me, so yeah, I'll take the helmet off. My hair is a little unruly. With one hand, she kind of starts brushing your hair down. She kind of takes you by the chin. She's giving you a good looking over.
Does she look at her hand first before she does that?
She probably would. You look tired.
Oh.
I am.
Your sister filled me in on how you were straining yourself through the voyage. Have you noticed any long-term effects from that? Any mood swings? Any persistent headache?
Anything that was causing like that, I would use healing. There's no long-term effects so far. Though you would have noticed the wall inside my mind is a little bit sturdier than it used to be.
Oh, no, I hadn't noticed. And then you feel that kind of constant pressure you feel anytime she's around. It's like a constant little push, little breeze, little static. I don't know how exactly you would describe it. You feel that intensify for a minute, though. Like she is actively poking at your defenses now. Maybe not, really trying to beat them down, but, definitely poking at them.
Oh, that's a bit of a growth spurt as well.
Oh, it's records.
I assume you mean as far as your abilities. You definitely aren't any taller.
True.
Which is good, because I'm sure you have no idea how to let the hems out of your pants.
To be fair, all of the copies would have longer pants. But no, it's more just like when my healing appeared, or when my flight appeared. It's just another ability has come into my possession.
She's like, ooh, telepathy?
In a sense, except it's one way and it hurts people.
If it was a mental blast, you could just say a mental blast.
It's a mental blast.
Well, that's moving in the right direction, at least. When all this is over, stuff's back to normal. Maybe we should come stay at the house for a while. We can see if we could expand this mental projection of force into something more communicative.
I don't like remembering what happened when we tried to make my telekinesis do that.
We'll be more careful this time. I've refined my techniques.
have a discussion about that after we handle what has happened here. And I get a nice long rest and probably get fired from my government job.
She looks at. What would get you fired? You've been off in space. What would get you fired from your government job? Especially if you just saved the world. Well, when you've saved the world yet again. Who in the government do I need to have a talk to?
Don't pretend you don't know that I slugged a congressman. Or was it a senator? I forget which. It was in the hazy moments.
Let's see. How much does she keep up with politics? Would you say that? Did you do that publicly where it would have made the news? For sure made the news.
Unison was technically stripped of, I believe, not sure if he was stripped of leadership from the punch, or he did it knowing he'd be put on probation when he got back. But it was all, when it was revealed that the Primus was alive and the government knew about it, I may have punched the guy in charge of keeping it a secret from Spear. Mostly because that is Spear's jurisdiction. We were supposed to know about it.
Really, you weren't on World at the time. In fact, I don't know if Spear really had any superpowered assets on planet at the time.
I was...
Oh, I suppose that blonde girl used to work with, if she's still with Spear.
I was also still technically in office. Or in the office. I was sending texts to people and stuff, but
yes.
I was still physically... A version of me was physically there to speak to.
She's like, you were sending texts to some people at least.
Father got the messages to give to you from Omniglot.
From your sister, yes. Never mind. This is an old problem. So you lost your temper and slugged a senator. Oh yeah, I can see where that could get you fired. When I asked earlier if there had been any mood swings or anger issues or whatnot, this would have been a time to bring this up.
I don't count people keeping a secret technical prisoner out of the world's leading superhero and punching them for that a mood swing. That's what I would do to a supervillain that did it. It's what I would do to anyone that kept another human being prisoner when they're... I assume the Primes at this point is his family. We're clearly looking for him.
Oh, that's fair, I suppose. You mentioned during the hazy moments. Have there been other hazy moments?
Well, I was awake for, I meant hazy as in I was up for months at a time. That drug my mental faculties way down for quite some time. I transferred leadership of the group to Independence Ray as I noticed those slips.
And you had no issues with him carrying a child into combat?
She's literally one tier of strength under the Primus.
What does that have to do with her being a child that you're dragging into fights?
Children are allowed to play paintball, and bullets are as to what a paintball would be to other people.
I worry for my grandchildren someday.
Oh.
Which by the way, you should get to work on.
I have older siblings; they can do that.
I want some from all of you.
No. Oh boy.
But anyway, I'm very glad you're home. And unless you resist, she gives you a very big hug.
None of her powers are physical. I can take her in a physical fight. I'll let her hug me. I will return it, however stiff I am.
Powers can't hurt me, so I'll let her hug me.
I will also
hurt
go
me
ahead and use
anymore.
my healing ability just in case she's hurt.
Oh,
No, she doesn't seem to have taken any damage or anything.
Okay.
You don't even know if she was on the mission per se, or if he just picked her up on the way back. And knowing you know her personality, as soon as she found out you and your sister were home, she was probably trying to find a way to get out of here. You may not trust her, but you do know she's very protective.
Unfortunately, yes.
All right, you can put your silly helmet back on. Before she hands it back to you, because she like reaches down to hand it back to you, she sort of sniffs it. You haven't been washing this thing out regularly, right?
Yes. It would be gross otherwise.
All right, yeah. Just checking.
I understand you're scared of it, but it's just a helmet. And I put it back on.
I just don't like anything that hides your face. She kind of cups both sides of the helmet. But in the job, I understand the need for it.
My life has been nothing but the job for some time now.
Yes, that's probably an issue. Maybe you getting fired wouldn't be a bad thing. Maybe a good vacation is just what you need.
Yes, a nice long trip to a place where no one knows me.
Or you could come home for a little while. The house is awful empty since you and your sister since your sister left.
Well, hindsight's out of prison, so I'm sure we'll have guests soon enough.
That man. Did you have to bring that man up? Oswald
I hear he's
Mallory.
on our side for the next, until something turns him away.
When he thinks he might need something from your father, probably. Oswald Mallory is not a man that I'm ever going to trust under any circumstances.
That's completely fair.
All right, so while they've been having their heart-to-heart, what's been going on out in the living area? Omniglot is occasionally giving slightly worried glances over towards that door.
Well, Recluse is just going to bounce off the multidimensional man and like, how big of a trap do you think the New Orleans job is going to be?
I think we should go in assuming it's a trap. It'd be really nice if Santa Luna had gotten himself free. And my understanding is he's a very capable wizard. Or whatever the proper term is. Bruce had explained the grandmother possessed him. That never seemed to be a permanent thing, so maybe he just came, maybe she ended up having to let loose of him. He's waiting to hear back from his people in Memphis to see if, obviously if they've seen Santa Luna walking around, like normal.
I'll just pipe in. It doesn't really matter if it's a trap. I can help him.
Honestly, that is something to consider. Even if he's being possessed, even if he's still being possessed by his grandmother, and it's a trap. We have my wife here. She might be able to help him take control again. Who knows how her abilities interact with magic or ghosts, or do ghosts count as magic? Supernatural, anyway. But as far as just being able to reach into his head and help strengthen him or wake him up if his consciousness is dormant, she might be able to do something there.
Yeah, between the Doctor's abilities and certainly a reunion of Bruce could theoretically give Jay that extra rush of will that he would need to recover his former self. In theory.
It's worth trying.
Or fire love and all that.
So who all you want to take with you on this mission? Just strategically speaking, we shouldn't all go, because if it turns out to be, you know...
Yeah, we weren't going to deplete the headquarters before. We're not going to do it now. But perhaps Dr. Breen seems like you'd be if you don't, anyway. If Unison's not out yet.
No. They're still off in the room. Y'all are having this conversation while they were having theirs.
I feel like Dr. Breen. Not Aurora. Sorry, Aurora. But...
No. She was a little annoyed that I let y'all take her to Russia.
Yeah, that's fine. Like he could be on safeguard duty until she gets bored and ports back to her home world.
She's like, no, I want to go. You let me go before.
Well, now we have other agents here that you need to keep safe.
She doesn't look like she's buying that. Not for a minute. So anyway, y'all are talking about the particulars of that. Eventually, Unison and Dr. Brain walk back in. Dr. Brain walks up. So what have I been volunteered for?
Our rendezvous
asset retrieval. If it would
rendezvous with Santo Luna.
Yeah. If you're willing to volunteer your services.
Well, I've never been on a mission with Unison or Omniglot.
Oh,
that might be kind of fun.
Like take your parents to work day.
And their father is right. If Santa Luna's, whether it's outside interference or ghost possession, I might be able to arouse his consciousness if it's been, pressed down and driven into dormancy. She's like, no guarantees. I am no expert on magic. But magicians and people with my abilities have been historically known to interact on occasions. Clash, if you will.
No overt surprise there. The realms of the mystical and the mental are overlapping fields.
Yes. We both have access to the astral plane.
And apparently science does too at some point.
Sufficiently advanced science and all of that.
Oh, by the way, by order of aliens, we're not allowed to investigate the astral plane too heavy because there's a big scary creature hidden inside of it. That is important information that you need to know.
Oh, yes, dear. Some of us are aware. Luckily, most of humanity that can access such as yourself, they can access that plane at all, are only sort of skimming the surface. Think of it as just barely being able to cross the border into it and move around. It takes a little bit more than that to draw their attention. So when is this meeting?
Tomorrow at 3.
Oh, thank you, Bruce. Don't worry, I'm sure we will be able to get. I forget what is Santa Luna's actual name.
Yago. Actually, it's Hyago. Jago, but it's Hyago because the J sounds like kind of an H.
Hyago. I'm sure we can get Hyago back for you. Do you know? Would she bother asking? Yeah, she'd ask you. She's polite. Do you know if Jay has any and the rest of y'all may notice that she bounces from his actual name to, his nickname. I don't know if Bruce would. I don't know how observant Bruce is. Do you know if Jay has any special mental defenses built up, or his grandmother, for that matter?
Jay kind of has this saying. He drinks the good spirits to keep the bad spirits away. I'm not sure how well that works.
I see. Unison, you can see that you can see a focus on your mother. You know she's using her abilities. This is a technique she uses.
I can tell you that when he uses his magic, it opens up an opportunity for her to step in. And that's why he's always saying, don't play around with magic. It's not a tool to use you. Because sometimes it will use you.
I see. And Unison, you could tell she's probably using this technique she'll do, where she'll be poking around in someone's brain, fishing for information, but she'll be asking them questions pertaining to what she's looking for. One, to make
it bubble up to the surface more easily.
And, so she can tell if they're lying, or she may be able to glean more information than they consciously can spit out. She may pick up details from their memories that they don't necessarily even register. So very good.
I'm going to lean gently to Recluse. Nothing I do or say could stop Bruce from being readable to this woman, so I'm just not going to say anything.
Oh, yeah, I gotta piece that one together, immediately. I love the guy, but Jesus.
He's not usually hard to read anyway.
Yeah, not really. But
he's a very honest guy.
All right, well, it's Monday now, so are we going to try to make it tomorrow, or are we going to wait till next week?
We should do it tomorrow.
Guy stands up. I guess that means I should probably go refuel the jet.
Do you need more bodies as assistants than you can make?
No, I'm fine. The refueling's not hard. Though as many long trips as we're taking, we're gonna have to re-up the basic supply before much longer.
Do we get them in 50 gallon drums or something?
We probably could find them like that.
Because at that weight, I could fly some copies down and physically pick them up.
Guy sort of nods. I'll start looking around to see where a good place would be to snatch what we need. Since the Pharaoh's people aren't going to be selling it to us.
Yes, I fully understand and accept the fact we're going to have to do some crimes, technically. It's more like military commandeering, because we are fighting for a thing where the people would agree that we should fight for it if they were in their proper mental state.
He's like, right. Just remember, we're the freedom fighters, not the terrorists.
Well, the distinction is based on who he ends up writing the history book.
Mm-hmm. So if we win, we're the freedom fighters.
And if we lose, we're the newly converted follower. Best case scenario. That, or
Yeah.
we become very gruesome wall art.
A very stern example for the rest of the world.
All right, so he heads off. Within a few hours, everything's prepared, ready to take off again. Dr. Brain spends a lot of that time talking with Omniglot. As time goes, gets ready for y'all to go. Everybody, John and all the rest of them are wishing you well. And as you're getting ready to load up on the jet, everybody's getting on board. You see Dr. Brain look around. She walks into this little, overhead compartment. Aurora, come out of there, please. And you just hear a muffled, I'm going!
No one in here but us suitcases.
What he said? What's a suitcase? But when the doctor opens the thing, Aurora comes she kind of rolls out and catches herself in the air. Crosses her arms. I can help.
Oh, she's pouting.
I've been helping. Why can't I help this time?
Think of this as a, when you're part of when you're a part of a team, sometimes you have to follow commands that you don't agree with personally. So, we all have to do it on Earth, at least.
When Greg says that, Landshark kind of rolls his eyes.
Does Aurora notice
I know.
that eye roll?
I'm using the team. Yeah, I know. I'm using the team speech again. I know.
Hold on, guys. Sorry. Hello. Hey, Dad. I'm good. How about you?
It's going to be a quick mute on that.
Yep. Let me mute him.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of it.
Not server mute. Come on now. There it is. All right. I just like how he takes his headphones off so we can't even tell him. But I've got him muted, so we're good now. It won't be picking up on the... Oh, well, that didn't take very long.
Sorry,
No.
you have to answer the phone
It's good.
for the father.
Oh, yeah, absolutely understandable. We were just laughing because you take your headphones off, but you didn't mute yourself. So I had
couldn't find the button.
I had to reach over and mute you right quick. It is not a big deal at all. It's just funny. All right, so you're giving her that speech. She ain't looking too happy about it. Dr. Brain starts talking to her,
Hey, Aurora.
She looks over at Recluse.
You are an incredibly powerful, capable young woman. And you have been a huge asset while you've been with us. But if things go badly here, and if all of us, yourself included, get captured, that could mean very bad things for the rest of the planet. So we need you back there so you can be safe and help out later if things do go bad.
Give me a will roll. Let me see how good you were. How convincing you were. It was a pretty well thought out argument.
That's an 11.
Let me find Aurora's stats. Okay.
I almost feel like giving you a +2 by just going, my mom says you can't.
Alright, she only got a 7, so she's clearly not happy about it, but you've given her, a good enough reason. Okay, if something happens to these guys, they need somebody like me to come in and save them. That makes sense to her. So she lands. She does a slow, unhappy walk out of the plane, but she does not uncross her arms. Okay, but when you need me, I'm coming. She gives the doctor a mean look.
Yes. Eat the telepath.
And as soon as she's out, though, the doctor looks over to you, Recluse. Thank you. I was afraid I was going to have to, make her go to sleep or something.
Oh.
It's not a problem. And I honestly meant every single word. That kid is an absolute powerhouse, and if left to her own devices on here, would probably be in the top 10 or 20 supers on the planet. But even if it's complicated with her right now. She gets hurt, that's a huge diplomatic incident, and honestly, we really do need her help. As much as she's, can safely do.
But also, to be fair, her people are also using her as a weapon against a dude who's incredibly dangerous. Well, I take that back. Her people might not be, but her people are okay with her going and doing it.
Well, from
It's
what
a whole, civil war in space.
Yes, from what I've picked up, the reason she went and helped you was that mad Mara sent her.
Oh, right. You accessed one of us. I don't have to tell you things.
One of you? Oh, yes. I don't know if Mad Mora counts as one of her people or not. Though Aurora certainly looks up to her.
Oh, no. Did she access Aurora's mind? I'm never gonna know. Oh, no.
You could always ask.
I don't know. Aurora didn't act like she knew it happened, so I'm not gonna bring it up.
Alright, but y'all get in y'all seats. Now, Geist offers to pilot the ship for you if you want him to. Just so that obviously he knows Ray's a pilot. I mean, he's not trying to hone in on Ray's gig. But that way you could have somebody in the ship, because obviously you're not flying the ship down into the middle of New Orleans. You'll have to park it somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm fine being co-pilot on this.
Okay.
Understood.
So zipping across the Atlantic, Guy seems to be a pretty reasonably decent pilot. If you got into a dogfight or something, you'd probably take over. You doubt he's had that kind of experience. But as far as just basic flight, And this vehicle can do autopilot pretty well. Truthfully, most planes do these days, at least the big ones.
And can you remind me who's flying this again?
Geist.
Oh, that's
You don't know who he really is, but oh wait, Ray taught at the school, and so did Landshark.
he did. Have we met at a PTA conference, perhaps?
He's one of the older students.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Ray can give me, let's say, an awareness roll. As you're dealing with Geist more and more, if it clicks with you who he may be. He is trying not to be.
Probably not.
Now he is, he's futzing around with his voice a little bit to try not to be too obvious. But
He's using his Batman voice.
considering Bruce ran the gym, and I think part of Ray's training was like the superpowered combat or superpowered use or power uses or something with it.
That's right.
You seem to remember one of your students who could be about the same age. Might be a little bit shorter. Of course, he could have lifts. His costume boots could have lifts in them. Hang on just a second. I'll get you the student in question's name.
I'll just file that away for now. Actually, no. I'd.
There he is. So you had a student named Charles Smith.
Mm-hmm.
That he had mental. He was telekinesis, mental blast. The real big thing that makes you think Geist might be him is is you've seen him phase through the bottom of the jet before during the first fight when he came in. He can duplicate, and you've seen his duplicates phase through because he was basically dropping them out of the bottom of the plane. And phasing and duplication is a relatively unusual combination. So either this kid, who just happens to be about the same age, just happens to have those two unusual powers, the same as one of your students, or this is Charles.
On second thought, I'm imagining that the Academy had a pretty rigorous course on maintaining secret identities. So I'm not gonna out him unless he, I guess, outs himself.
Okay.
Like if he doesn't address me as a teacher in any way, I won't risk. I won't say anything that will.
If he slips up and calls you Mr. Gearhart, you'll call him on it.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'll let it be.
Okay. All right. So you get along, across the Atlantic without issue. Let's see, from the Alps going down to Louisiana. You get to Louisiana without any issue. y'all set the ship down. How far outside the city would you want to set it down?
Um, you know, if we, would outskirts of the suburbs be too far? I mean, I'm trying to remember if we can, or do, or do we want to even, I was just trying to think if we could do a kind of an airdrop kind of thing, but, oh wait, this jet has stealth capabilities, is that correct?
Right. As I've told you before, it doesn't really turn the jet invisible, though. It's
Okay.
just very hard to pick up on like radar and that sort of thing.
You know, I don't know, maybe we could risk just like an airdrop. Because if any randos see it, I mean, the odds of us getting spotted by like an authority, I don't know. What do y'all think?
I mean,
I
I
feel like
define the height of the airdrop.
mm,
Because I don't think there's really a good way to really do a drop off. Either we're gonna have a good way to run whenever things go bad,
mhm.
or we need to have a place, or we do an airdrop and we need to arrange for a place to rendezvous for a quick pick up and go.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, yeah, I feel like an airdrop might be our best bet only because, I mean, if we land outside of the city and have to make our way in, we are still, I mean, we couldn't have grease tunnels because that's kind of conspicuous. And of course, recluse is recluse. No offense. But,
Also, the water table's kind of high around New Orleans.
oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll never forget the Aberrant game I was running where, part of the story involved them going to the sewers of New Orleans. One of the players was from New Orleans, so I got called on that immediately.
oh, sure.
He was not unless we can shrink down about the width of a pipe. So
Yeah,
that scene became on the outskirts of New Orleans, on a little bit higher ground. Uh-oh.
Oh no, I'm still here. I need to plug my my laptop in somewhere. I don't know that I don't know that there are any working outlets where I'm at right now. So I got to take it.
Okay. Well, the vehicle is capable of vertical takeoff and landing. So you could zip in and it could lower, down low enough and just hover there while y'all jumped out and then take on off.
Yeah.
I say we do that. Nothing. If the park needs a name, I say we name it Laveau Park.
Laveau Park is good enough. It doesn't matter if it's a real park or not.
I have no idea if it is.
It's not. It should be.
All right. So what part of the town do y'all want dropped off in?
I figure it's close to the rendezvous point as possible. Imagine.
Okay. And what time of day? Because y'all could always kind of rest somewhere else until precisely when y'all
I'm going to say a couple of hours early, and I'm going to suggest that the team let give Bruce some space and let him poke around the corner a bit in case they're watching, so that maybe they think he's alone,
Mhm.
and then just sort of plan on meeting at the park at 3. Not that I'm the
Not
team
going to
strategic.
object to it. Yeah, a
I'm
few
not
hours
the team
before.
strategian, but
A few hours beforehand wouldn't hurt. Like, there's really no such thing as a quiet period in New Orleans.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Bruce will say, "You guys can watch me, but don't watch too close. This will be embarrassing."
I'm not even going to send a ghost after you. Because I bet he can see ghosts.
Can actually.
Well, you've got a phone if something happens.
I know you guys will be watching at the park from a safe distance.
Oh no, I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
That sounded potentially child related.
Yes, it did.
Just a particular tone of voice. All right, so y'all drop Bruce off, and then y'all have a chance to get situated kind of wherever you want to. You know, rooftops out of the way or whatever. Dr. Brain suggests that she could be strolling around the park because nobody knows. Nobody knows her. She hasn't been active in the Resistance really, as far as like going out and like doing the superhero-y stuff.
I don't know if you guys want to bother putting a wire so you can hear me or not.
Yeah, I figure we, yeah, don't we all have like the standard team comms thing?
Yeah,
going
you've got your comms. Yeah, they were provided by the government. So does anyone object to Dr. Brain being down there perusing the area too?
No.
I'll keep a copy in the air watching over to make sure
Okay.
nothing jumps her.
And Ray, I think you had talked earlier about being way up in the air with some binoculars.
That's right.
I'm back. I'm sorry. Someone had slipped and fell and needed a hug and a Christmas tree cake.
Aww.
Was it Anna?
A hug and a Christmas tree cake would make most things in her life better, but no, it was Izzy.
Oh.
I think it helps most people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not dieters, but other than that. All right, so Independence Ray is way up in the air watching with binoculars. Unison's got one copy astral projecting up there. Dr. Brain slips back down to street level, takes her mask off. And now just like a middle-aged lady, walking down the street.
Is there an alleyway with a goodish view of the rendezvous? And is there a large dumpster in it?
Give me an awareness roll. 7 is the number to beat.
That's a match.
Alright, so a marginal success. You find an alleyway with a really good view, but only a couple of garbage cans. But there's another alley that's got a slightly not. You can still see part of the park, but it's got one of the big dumpsters.
Before we split up, right? Bruce will take his fin off and hand it to Ray. He'd be like, "Keep this for me." It'll like straighten up his hair. It's like, "How do I look? How do I look?"
Is this the first time I've seen you without your fin?
They probably didn't wear it at school.
Oh, really? Okay. I think you would have, but all right.
He probably put his
Yeah, I'll
hair
keep.
in like a mohawk or something. But
Yeah,
When you're straightening your
I guess.
hair, Dr. Brain comes out with a comb. Here, let me, dear, let me. With Bruce, though, she doesn't lick her fingers and run it through there. But then y'all get into the positions. So Recluse,
I'll go with the suboptimal alley and just sort of squash myself down as much as I can behind the garbage cans.
okay, give me a stealth roll.
Right, and that'd be coordination.
Correct.
I have really got to pick up some stealth specialty. Nice.
Yep, we both rolled max, but I was rolling for basically the average people walking by.
Yeah.
All right. So you managed to stay out of sight, Squash yourself down, maybe put a couple of garbage bags on your back, so... He reminds you of the good old days before you were a superhero.
Not the worst thing I've done in an alley. Hey, is Oh boy in that one? Let's weigh my options first.
Let's see, Omniglot's on the rooftop. She's also got binoculars. And she's kind of half crouched behind like an air unit, just looking over the top of it. Still got her mask on, but she's taking her hat. She's laid her hat next to her. So Unison, where are you putting any? Are you putting any U's anywhere else, or are you just up on the roof with Omniglot?
I'll just have me and some copies on the roof with Omniglot ready to deploy.
All right. Excuse me. All right, Bruce, you were walking around the park. You remember this park, and a few things have changed. Oh, this bench is different, or this bit of decoration is altered in some way. But the trees and everything are pretty much the same. People are walking. People are walking their dogs. People are having a picnic. All kinds of stuff going on. Kids running around playing. Yeah. It's a city park. Now, is he getting the lay of the land, or trying to spot potential observers, or what's he doing?
I'm just gonna go find the spot where I met Jay and hang out there, and I'll look around to see if anyone's watching.
All right, give me an awareness roll. Six is the number to beat. And you did so with a 7. Nobody's paying any special attention to you,
Just barely.
People are glancing at you. You're a big dude. Or at least a buff dude. And I'm trying to remember... Does your costume doesn't have a shirt, does it? You've got like that vest without a shirt on under it, right?
Yeah, the vest, he leaves hanging open, so it is designed to show off his muscles.
So you get that kind of attention of people walking by going, "Hey."
Yeah.
Some of it is appreciative stares from people. Some of it is just is other dudes that look like they're jacking at the gym that are kind of like, "Hey." But that's nothing, That's not anything unusual or anything that you're, or anything that pings you as something to be worried about. That's normal. Hang on just a second. I got a bot in the chat I was trying to get rid of.
What?
I thought I told it to block him, but he's still there. No, it says he's blocked. Maybe I can just still see him because I'd have the option to unblock him. All right, carry on. At least it wasn't anything obscene. Just somebody trying to sell us views, which just seems counterproductive. So you're sitting there. 3 o'clock rolls around. Other people have come into the park. You got a dude feeding the pigeons over on another bench. And then you see Santo Luna walk in. To the rest of you, he's dressed kind of fancy. Now, Bruce, this is his ideal of dressing down. This is him trying to be, less noticeable. To the rest of you, he's still dressed kind of fancy. He's
So I guess the big question is, what kind of shoes is he wearing?
He is wearing boots, regular old boots. Well, not regular boots; they're kind of fancy boots, but it's not the pumps that his grandmother's prefers.
So I'll stand up and walk up to him. It's like, Miozito?
I know he knows Spanish. I don't know Spanish.
Oh, that's my little bear.
And he calls you whatever he would normally call you.
Poppy Shark.
Poppy Shark. Now, is Jay are public displays of affection Jay's thing?
He would, yeah.
Okay. So yes, he runs up, get you in a hug. He's like kissing on your cheek. He's so glad that you made it back home, even with everything that's going on.
I kind of look at it, I was like, I heard you were possessed.
See, I'm blanking on his grandmother's name.
Adita.
But yes, he tells you, yes, he when he tried to resist the spell, he just the spell. It allowed her to come out. And the Pharaoh, she was doing something to make me, to keep me pushed back, to keep my grandmother in the forefront.
How did you beat her?
Whatever it was the Pharaoh was doing, I seem to have become more resistant to it over time. And finally, once I got control again, I was able to extract myself. Grandmother was not resisting at all and was just having a grand old time. So the people guarding me were somewhat lax. I'm sure they're looking for me now, but there's no reason for them particularly to come looking here. He kind of back his hand, strokes Luke's cheek, or Bruce's cheek. They don't understand how important this place is.
Well, come with me. We could use a wizard.
See. Are you here alone, or did you bring your team?
Oh, they gave me some space.
Well, yeah, we can go back to the room I've got rented, or we can, if you're ready to.
They're not far, but...
Oh, lead the way. He takes you by one arm.
We can all hear this, right?
Over Bruce, if Bruce has got his comms set up to be broadcasting everything, yes.
Okay. If you haven't affording yourself some privacy, I would just gently remind you to let's save the full reading the celebration for home base. I mean, I can appreciate how you could get swept up in the moment after being separated for so long, but we really shouldn't stay here any longer than we need to.
I'm going to. Am I convinced that he's really free of Adida?
Well, he's not in the boot, or I mean, he is in the boots.
He's in the boot. Oh, I know. I know a way.
Okay.
And I know that Bruce was a drinking buddy for Recluse. It is not because Bruce drinks, it is because Recluse needed a drinking buddy. But Adina does not like alcohol. So I'm going to suggest that we get a drink. How about a shot of tequila?
His face lights up.
Oh.
If we can spare the time, certainly.
I get a big grin on my face. Like, let's go. It's like, I picked up some stuff for you while I was out in space.
Oh, what did you bring me?
Some magic rings, a book, a space orchid. You do not feed it after midnight. And I had a whole thing I was going to do to try to shake him from Medina, but I don't need to do that now, so. Bruce just kind of pats his pocket and
All right.
goes on to get their shot.
So yeah, he leads you around to a local bar, or yeah, a bar that's fairly close by. What does Bruce order?
Just he would order a Shark Rita, but they probably don't make those. So.
And I forget what is the Sharkrito?
Some blue margarita.
Okay.
God knows what flavor.
Something with an extra bite in it.
Yeah.
It's a regular margarita, but they put blue Gatorade in it or something.
And just those blue gummy sharks on top.
Oh.
Well, this bar doesn't have the gummy sharks. They have some kind of something that you use in mixed drinks that would make it a little bit bluish.
We're doing the shots. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to apologize to Jay. I'm going to say, Jay, saving the galaxy was fun and all, but I shouldn't have left you. It's like, I'm an even bigger stupid jerk when you're not around. Just ask my friends.
He's like, oh no, Pappy, no. You're a hero. It's what heroes do.
It's like, I'm a mess, and you're the closest thing I'm ever going to have to normal. You're my rock. You keep me grounded.
Oh boy.
And it's like, so I'd like to do the same to you, and I'm going to spend a determination point.
Okay.
I'm going to retcon, and I'm going to say that Bruce has been carrying around a freaking engagement ring the entire season that he was afraid to give him before they left. And that is why Bruce has been obsessed over Ray and Marcus's wedding. and I'll hope, get on my knees and offer him the ring. It's like, be the Sharks forever home.
He freezes for a second, like this is caught him completely off guard, And then he sort of throws himself into your arms.
Don't have Adidas. That's good.
You know, some people in the bar kind of ignoring you. Some people in the bar kind of going, "Oh." You know, then if you hand him or you put the ring on, he lets you put the ring on.
Yeah. Definitely. And then we'll go.
And then you have your shots or whatever.
Yeah, have your shots, and we'll go meet the other guys.
Did Bruce turn his comms off for that, or did that get broadcast?
No, he left it on. He forgot to turn it off.
All right, so y'all gather back on the roof. Or you get back. You and him get back to the roof. Unison and Omniglot are up there. Dr. Brain comes back. While you're there.
I'll shoot down from the sky and offer my congratulations.
Let's see. Would Ray and Santa Luna have met before?
Maybe at an academy function.
At an academy function.
Ray and Bruce were on friendly terms. Bruce knew Marcus. Ray probably met Jay. Maybe they even went out a few times.
Yeah, that's possible because y'all have been working together.
Socially.
And of course, in the big crossover into season 2,
Yeah.
you were probably around, but wouldn't necessarily have had a chance to really talk to a lot of people. Yeah. All right, where did I put Dr. Brain? There she is. Oh, that's interesting. So that's an 8 and an 8. So Unison, as your mother climbs over onto the rooftop and starts walking forward, she's got a smile on her face. She's got, I'm assuming y'all had handed her one of the comms. But you see the smile drop off her face, and she's really staring at Santa Luna hard. Like a slight, just not angry or whatever, just kind of a concerned look as she's kind of focusing. And you see her slide her hand and pull her mask back out and put it on. Before Santa Luna can turn around and see her. Bruce, are you sure that's Santa Luna?
Pretty sure.
What are you sensing?
I'm not sure. And Santa Luna's like, yes, it's me. Are you one of those mind manipulators? I have protections. Yeah, she doesn't seem okay. She seems like she's okay. That could be it. That might be it.
You passed the tequila test.
I would like to state I do not want to live in a world where might is the answer.
Same.
Well, perhaps just to make sure there are no undue influences, whether or not noticed or unnoticed. Perhaps Jay, would you consent to a mind probe once we get back to the ship.
Oh, see.
And by the way, just because the player isn't fully convinced, I mean Bruce would be
and Santo Luna looks at Bruce.
Sure.
fully convinced at this point.
Bruce, I don't know this woman. Do you trust her?
Oh,
She's family.
All right, let's not start bandying that about.
Hey, we're not sure this isn't a villain. Clearly, we need to talk about how they're related to one another.
she is somebody we can trust.
Oh, that's good enough for me then.
If that's good enough for you, would you actually prefer to do it? I think I'd prefer just to do the mind scan right here, right now.
Oh, see. Let's get it over with first. So Dr. Brain walks up, to him. Locks eyes, starts talking in a very gentle, like if you've ever seen, at least on TV, people trying to hypnotize somebody, how they start talking very calmly, or maybe even just like the way a psychiatrist talks to somebody. Just a very calm voice. Relax, let your guard down. And then everybody needs to give me awareness rolls.
Is there anything I could add to this? Investigation?
However your danger sense factors in.
Sure. So it'd just be a +1.
I've got a 13 and 6 bodies on a roof. What am I about to shoot?
All right. So Ray does not notice. Landshark does not notice. Unison absolutely notices. And all right.
Unison notices because he always suspects a trap.
Mm-hmm.
My awareness is a little bit under a cosmic level, yes.
All right, so Recluse just barely beats it.
How did Omniglot do?
I didn't think to roll for Omniglot. Good looking out. Let's see, this is awareness. Yeah, Omniglot will notice.
All right. As Dr. Brain immediately becomes possessed, and I have to beat her unconscious.
No. Besides, you notice a lot more than what's just going on this rooftop. All right. So first off, the first thing that Recluse and Unison notice. And Recluse, you've got your back, but your danger sense kind of kicks in. You're like, huh? You turn and look behind you. As you see this man swelling up to huge size, basically what would be across the street from the building. And rearing back his hand like he's about to throw something. Unison, you notice a red and gray figure, like kind of a grayish humanoid figure in like red armor in his hand. You also hear running in the alleyways, beside the building. The large figure is, of course, your friend and mine, Skyscraper, or Obelisk as he's known in this world. So everybody go ahead and give me initiative rolls.
That's an 11.
Same here.
So I'll look at Santo Luna and I'll say, I think you were followed.
I've got an 8.
All right, so Recluse got an 11. Unison got an 8. Let's see here. Skyscraper got a 5.
Skyscraper got a 5, eh?
Yes, Skyscraper got a 5. Somebody else got a 9, but you don't see them yet.
It's time for me to immediately attempt to knock him unconscious in one round.
Be a good plan if we could pull it off.
If only my character had any level of determination to help make that happen.
Mm-hmm. All right, did I put down? No, I didn't put down. Independence Ray, he got an 11. We'll just leave Omniglot what she rolled last time. Did I write down Landshark? Oh, it was Landshark. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we're good there. I just need this person. And this person. So it is a 7 and an 8. Oh, I need to roll for Dr. Brain, even though I didn't throw a token down for Dr. Brain. Just to be fair, I wasn't entirely certain Unison would let Dr. Brain come along. Sorry, I was trying to find a... Oh well, this is a weird token to use, but since I'm not actually displaying the tokens at the moment, it doesn't really matter. All right, and she got a 7 and a range in descending order. Okay. So everybody that failed is essentially we're going to have a surprise round, but the heroes that noticed something was going on can't act. So Recluse noticed. So at the top of the order, he gets to act.
I'm gonna give a shout. Yep. And I'm going to immediately just leap right at Obelisk's face.
Ah, it's a jumping spot, jumping in my face. Get it off, get it off, get it off.
Exactly. That should be a fair attack.
Alright. That'd be coordination? Or actually, because it's a jump, it'd be keyed off my legs, my extra limbs power.
Well, it's still actually a hand-to-hand attack because you're coming, because you're hand-to-handing him when you get there. The leaping just means you can cover the distance without any trouble.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alrighty
it's basically a charge attack, right?
That could be done as a charge, yeah. Or he was just landing on the face and then punching, it'd just be a regular old roll.
Yeah, going for the face and wailing on him. And fast attack for extra damage.
All right, this would be prowess versus prowess.
That's a 13.
That's an 11, so you beat him.
that would be a 9 to damage.
All right.
Oh.
He takes the punch pretty well. You can tell it. You can tell it hurt him. His head kind of rocks around. But you've hit this guy before. You know he's a damage sponge.
Yeah.
Omniglot takes a step past her mother. Like she's putting herself between her mother and these guys oncoming. And she starts studying the area. Independence Ray. Oh wait, did Ray notice anything?
I did. I made the awareness check.
Okay.
Oh no, it looks like a 6 against an 8 to me.
Yeah, I was thinking only half of you had.
Oh, okay. Wait, what did I roll? Wait.
Yeah, this was way up before the initiative rolls.
Yeah, there was a thing where Jason rolled
I got
4
it.
things for
Sorry.
the mind reading. We had a discussion, and then it was everyone rolling awareness.
Okay, yeah. Sorry about that.
Alright, so skip you.
Don't get me wrong, I'd love to have you cheat so we can get an advantage, but
Alright. Coming up behind your mother. I mean, not directly behind it. I just mean your mother climbed up a ladder, attached to the building up here. This is what this person has done. You see Gothic appear in her Lightbringer form. She gets up there, her powers are active. But it was basically her round getting up the ladder. And then she smiles real big at Landshark. I knew you'd come looking for him given the chance. I knew it! Alright, but that is her turn. Coming up after her is somebody that I think Unison will recognize. I mean, most of your characters probably will, but if I remember right, this was specifically a Unison. No, what's this Unison thing? I forget. You see Dr. Payne. Now, remind me, Dr. Payne was somebody that was aimed at Unison, wasn't he?
Yes.
I knew he was a villain. He's a villain from season 2 that showed up one time, so I was trying to remember for sure who it was that he had a beef with. So yeah, he gets up and kind of, he's not like right next to Lightbringer. He spreads out a little bit. But he is now up on the roof. And then it's Unison's turn.
Bah to all of you.
Bum, bum, bum.
Whatever do you mean?
So help me. I'm just gonna shoot everyone. I'm just gonna shoot.
Yes, to you all.
I'm just gonna shoot 2 blasts at Dr. Payne real quick.
Okay. So 2 of your clones turn and bloop bloop him.
Cool, a minimum and a maximum.
Alright, he rolls his willpower to resist that.
Yes. Oh wait, sorry. I'm shooting telekinetic blasts, but
Oh, okay. You're going with the TK blast. All right, that would be coordination
Yeah.
like usual then.
because I just want to shoot him off the rooftop.
That's fair enough. All right.
All right, 6 points of damage on the first blast.
Well, let me check something right quick. He has an ability that might factor into this.
Oh, okay.
All right. All right. He has reflection.
Oh. Then the second blast might not happen. The first shot gets reflected and murders me.
All right. So you can reflect attacks back at the attacker. You test your reflection power as a reaction with the attacking effects level as the difficulty. So roll a d6. Yeah, it really is. So roll a d6 plus the rank of your TK blast versus his d6 plus the rank of his power.
Oof. Another low roll.
All right, your blast bounces back at you. So you take whatever your damage is.
Well, that poofs that copy.
Oh, wait. How much did he beat? He only beat you by 1. Hang on. I may have jumped the gun there. On a failure, the reflection fails. You suffer no damage. With a marginal or moderate, you are unaffected by the attack, but neither is your attacker. On a major success or better, the attack is
Okay,
reflected
so
back.
it just-
So he reflects it to the side, basically. He Dragon Ball Z's that stuff.
All right, well. I'll leave it up to you whether or not that second blast goes through, because I already rolled it. And, like, I move on the same function, so they probably would have fired at the same time. But I also don't want it to be me saying that I'm keeping this just because it's a high roll.
That's fair. We'll go ahead and
leave it-
we'll go ahead and let it go through.
Okay.
All right. So his coordination to avoid that. A 10 does not avoid a 13. Give me that roll again. He'll roll his reflect
It'll be
again.
a 9.
A 9 is a tie. So he deflects both of them, but doesn't manage to make any of them fly back at you.
All right, well. He is now the main problem. So he is now going to get a mental blast
All right.
put at him. Parry this, you filthy casual.
Well, reflect does say an attack. It doesn't say a physical attack.
That's crazy.
But let him gotta make the willpower roll first, though. Okay, that attack just doesn't get through his mental defenses.
Oh, he just has high mental defense. Okay.
Well, he's got a high willpower.
Yeah. Cool. Gonna ignore him now.
And the fun thing is, it's not like he has not been altered in the slightest. He was just already a good match to go up against you.
I mean, I just have to run up and punch him, and I don't feel like doing that right now. Which is crazy.
All right, so that was 3 used. How many used do we have left?
3.
All right, what are the other 3 doing?
Gonna go ahead and shoot blast at Lightbringer then,
Okay.
of the telekinetic variety.
All right. I wish I had a good way to tab up all these character sheets instead of them popping up and me getting buried under each other all the time. Gothic. All right, this was the telekinetic variety, so she dodges that with her coordination. Marginal, so it takes half effect. What is half your damage? So that's not going to get through her force shield.
All right. Another blast at her.
Okay.
Ah, gross.
Yeah, she dodges that one.
And I'll do a mental blast at her.
Okay. Ooh, minimum roll. She only got a 6.
Cool, cool. So that's 2 mental damage.
All right, she takes 2 mental damage.
Is 3 still just a moderate?
3 is a major.
So it could slam, correct?
Yeah, that could slam. That won't stun. It'd have to be a massive for a stun, but it could potentially slam. So roll the damage of your mental blast versus her willpower.
Don't have that autoed up, so it'll be an 8.
All right, so 8, 7. She gets knocked prone.
Cool. But then, as the last action of my turn, I would like to state, this is now either the 3rd or 4th time I have willingly walked into a trap with all of you. Can we please stop doing it this way?
All right, that was Unison. Bruce, I don't think had noticed.
He did not. If I'm allowed any action at all, I will stand between Santo Luna and the combat.
Okay, you were kind of already positioned there, but you can't really do anything but speak. I'd let you say something, like when you earlier when you said.
It's like I think you were followed.
Wait a second. Oh, I didn't put a token out for Santa Luna. Oopsie. It's somebody else that should have been in initiative order. Let me correct that right quick. My apologies. Where'd he go? All right. So we're skipping Bruce. A new character enters the fray. As soon as I get on the right layer where I can change his layer, there he is. This guy comes zipping over from one of the buildings already in the air. He's flying, the whole 2 fist out in front of him.
Really wishing we'd brought the child about right now.
And he is going to make a beeline for... he'll probably go for Dr. Brain. So that will be his prowess. And then I need somebody to give me a D6 roll for Dr. Brain as I track down her sheet.
As is tradition. A 4.
Alright, this is her core. No, this would be her prowess.
Plus any specialties she might have.
Yes, she does have that one martial artist, so that would help. So that's a 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is a marginal success, so only half damage to her. She's got a force shield. Oh, but it's limited to projectiles only, and he does not count as projectile. A little too big, a little too massive for that. However, let's see. So he normally does 8 damage, so it becomes 4. So she takes 4. So she tries to get out of the way as he zips by, but he manages to clip her, and she goes stumbling. Definitely looks like it's rattled her good. We were down to. That was this guy. Then it's Dr. Brain's go. Let's see, if you're trying to grapple somebody with telekinesis, is it willpower to connect and then the telekinesis counts as a strength?
I think so, yes.
Alright. Give me a D6 roll for Dr. Brain then.
That's 6.
Alright. Her willpower is a 6, so that's a 12. The Comet would dodge this with his coordination.
Oh.
That's not going to go well. Alright, so that's an
She flings him 2 states over.
well, she's trying to grapple him, basically. She's trying to grab him in a hold. Oh, wait a second. Because when you're initiating grapple on somebody, they can use their coordination. Or no, it's their prowess or strength, I think. Not that he's super strong, but in his case, I would say it would be his flight instead of his strength, just by the nature of what's going on. Let me double check and make sure he gets to choose that. So this is a wrestling, basically, just with the mental stuff.
And if that's the Comet, you're going to have to use middle attacks on him because nothing's going to touch him while he's in the air.
Yeah, Bruce don't know that. I guess the difficulty.
Wait, who's in the air right now?
I slipped up and said what his actual name is. I don't know if y'all would necessarily recognize him.
Okay. Oh wait, that's right. We have the new flyer that just joined the fight.
Right.
That's right. The one who just clocked Dr. Brain.
Yeah, usually they can use prowess.
Join the fray.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So she definitely has him in a full hold. Okay, when he's escaping, he can use his. Usually it'd be his prowess or his strength. In this case, I'd say his coordination or his flight. So when he tries to escape next round, it will definitely be his flight he's using. So right now, he's still. I mean, just it's like a jet stream coming off. You know, he's one of them guys that his bottom half blurs while he flies, kind of guys. And right now, he's just sort of shaking in the air as he's trying to get loose, and she's holding him with all her mental might. Bruce, Santa Luna looks at you. And in a voice very not sounding like Santa Luna. But definitely male. I feel kind of bad about this. I'll give him the ring. And you realize he's got something in his hand and he hits it. And you are bombarded with like this sound. It seems you can feel it emanating from like your lower back, like he planted something on you when he hugs you.
Oh,
So
crap.
give me a willpower roll. Got a 7.
My roll was not good.
Oh.
All right. Let me look up stun right quick. All right. So that is a major success on his part. Means the target can take no actions for a level duration.
Oof.
Ooh.
This was a level 6. This device was a level 6. Was unleashing a level 6 stun.
That sucks.
So I'm on the ground drooling.
Well, it's more like you're screaming and probably drop to your knees. Now, remember, you can, when your turn comes up, if you've got something you can tap and give yourself advantage, you can spend determination to shrug off these sorts of effects.
Who is this really?
I don't know. It could be anyone. All right.
Anyone.
Then,
Damn it!
Oh no! Oh no!
whoa. I said the word ANYONE.
Oh, okay.
Don't jump to conclusions. I wasn't necessarily saying N and an E and the number 1. Necessarily, I mean. But then it is Obelisk's turn. And he throws the person in his hand. He's going to throw him at one of the unisons. Unison, give me a coordination roll.
Does my martial arts help?
No. If you have athletics, that would help.
It's a 9.
Ah, there's Skyscraper. Well, you know, at least his coordination isn't that great. He doesn't have anything that particularly helps him. So a 7. So he misses you. So this large gray figure clad in red goes flying past you, manages to duck out of the way. He hits the roof, sort of rolls up into a stand. Unison, you would probably recognize Titan Red.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hey, yeah, it's Titan Red.
Former interstellar gladiator. He'd been running around heroing for a bit. I'm trying to remember. Was he a spear team member?
I think he
Briefly,
was.
Yeah.
What was that, Zach?
Briefly, yeah.
Okay. I was thinking he was with you when you ran into Dr. Payne the first time, because that was one of the earlier session.
Yeah, I think right after that, was it Dan had to leave? Feel bad for forgetting his name.
I'll be honest. I've blanked on his name as well. I felt a little bad about it. I could check the emails, I guess.
Yeah.
That was 5 years ago.
Pre-Izzy times.
Yeah, it was definitely. I think maybe we knew Izzy was on the way by then.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was season
Maybe.
2. I don't know. Any which way. So y'all know basically what you're expecting with him. Top tier brick.
Ooh.
Look on the bright side. Aurora was, wanting to come to your rescue. Hey, now she may get the chance to. And then it's Titan Red's turn. Ooh, And he runs up to Dr. Brain. No, wait. Hang on a second. How much would they have gleamed? Yeah, they were listening in through whoever is disguised as Santo Luna. So they'd have pegged her for the mentalist. All right, Zach, give me a roll for Dr. Brain. Her life could be in your hands.
That's 4. Was expecting a 1 after you said that.
He's just going for a punch, not his usual grappling.
Ooh.
All right, so that's a 4 plus Dr. Brain's massive prowess of 2 and martial arts of 1. So 4, 5, 6, 7. So he only beats her by 5.
4?
4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you're right.
I
All
mean,
right.
granted, still absolutely massive.
All right, so I'm just going to quickly roll 2 strengths for her. So that's a 5 and a 3. And then I'm going to roll his strengths, which is a 12 and an 11. So she is unconscious. And just shoots across the alleyway. Bounces once off that roof. Hits an air unit and it's just laying there in a heap. Unison. That constant little feeling on the edge of your consciousness when she's around, it's not there anymore. Almost like it is when she sleeps.
I didn't want to see that happen. That did not feel nice to see happen.
And it's right after 4 now, so this is the end of the round. So we will wrap right here. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I certainly did. Let me jot down that Bruce is stunned for 6 rounds. Dr. Brain is KO'd. And I'll go ahead and mention that Recluse is clinging to Obelisk's face.
Oh, did I not get a chance to use my determination to...
You have to wait until your turn.
So you'll need to remember to do that in 2 weeks.
That's why I'm jotting down to remember that he's... Because I will mention to him that that's the case. Then we'll remember that he can potentially shrug it off. But like I said, I had fun. I hope y'all did. I'm kind of enjoying being able to go back and pick through previously used heroes. We never actually played him much. Oh yeah, that guy quit, so we rarely saw that character. Here we go.
Cool.
That is the fun of this. That is the fun of this campaign.
We are so outnumbered, guys. At least it feels like it.
We've got 6 unisons.
Yeah. You got to keep up with how many unisons you've got.
Where's the 8? I can't.
I guess I can go ahead and slide the Santo Luna mini over to the villain side now.
Okay, so there's Bruce, Omniglot, Dr. Brain. I could just grab everyone and fly.
There are many tactics available to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have a week or 2 weeks rather to think about it. So, I hope anybody that comes by and watch it, that came by to watch this or comes by to watch it later, enjoyed it. I hope you come back next week. Or, I keep saying next week. I'm so used to the Tuesday group being weekly, I guess. Come back in 2 weeks for our next session. Except for that bot that came by today in the chat. You can stay away. We will, again, I was your GM for the day, Jason. And with me was Zach playing Recluse.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Mike playing Independence Ray.
Good night.
Taylor playing Unison.
See ya.
And Curtis playing Landshark.
Laters.
And we will see y'all next time.